A very good evening once again for the sixth round of this Front Row Racing World Series Championship. I'm the likes of Dom, and I'll be joined by the likes of Curly Whirly and Jamie James tonight. How are you doing, boys?
Yeah, I'm doing great, mate. How about yourself?
Not bad, not bad. James?
Well, if it's as much as excitement as we had last night, we're in for a treat.
Well, it was an exciting race last night. I don't know if our viewers did see it or missed it. But James, can you tell us a little bit about this track and tell us a little bit about what we were able to expect on this one?
Yeah, well, well, everybody knows it. It's the infamous, not really infamous, it's famous, the Monte Carlo Street Circuit. We're looking at times of, well, from what we saw yesterday, 1 minute 10s, low 1 minute 10s, mid 1 minute 10s, high 1 minute 10s. Yeah, I think we're expecting a one stop. I don't think, unless it rains, of course. Well, even if it rains, it's going to be a one stop. But yeah, well, from what we saw last night, it was just basically if you are good with traction and can keep it out of the wall, you can do an over kink and get to the finish without a scratch and hold up your teammate and yeah, make it to the finish.
Yeah, all right. Thank you for that contribution, James. Very much appreciated as always. Curly Whirly, I'll walk to the drivers with you, and you can start off with the Mercedes teams because obviously there are a couple of there is one driver change for tonight, and but we'll get to that later. Let's start off with the boys in the Mercedes cars.
Yeah, so in the Mercedes we have Hindle and Slimo Dude. Slimo Dude's second full-time race here in the World Series. Hindle's had a fairly tough time of it this season, and I would expect another tough round for him here tonight. He is a pad runner, and it's quite hard around here. So I think that he might be relying on Slimbo perhaps to get a few more of the points. Do you want to do this sort of one by one, Dom?
That's fine. Yeah, we'll do that. Obviously, Hindle though has shown very great pace in the last couple of seasons around Monaco, so he'll be probably charging for a podium, maybe as a pat driver even. But we'll go on with the Ferraris. Obviously, the brothers in arms, Conzo 1993 and Calzo 210, leading the championship in the constructors by quite a margin, and Calzo showing his dominance in quite a couple of races, and that is if he can record his footage, then he'll keep his victory. Because obviously he has lost a victory before, a very dominant one, by not recording his footage. So I hope Calzo will record his footage tonight. But also Calzo on a pad tonight, so Calzo will be struggling a little bit more than his brother should do, because Conzo 1993 is on a wheel. On to the Red Bulls.
Yeah, so in the Red Bull we've got Stocky and Will One Win One, two wheel users. I do know that Stocky is quite nervous for this race tonight. He did say that he hadn't had the most time to practice, so that will be interesting. This is certainly a track where you need to put in a lot of time to get the most out of it and to really learn the track, and it's pretty much all about nailing that qualifying lap and then just keeping your car intact until the end. Will One Win One, I believe that he's done quite well here at the past. He did say in Russia that this might be perhaps his best chance this season to maybe steal a win. So yeah, that'll be interesting tonight if he can pull off something like that. Who's in the Williams for us?
In the Williams tonight we have Danny Railton and Gonk yet again, as they are the full-time drivers in the Williams team for this season. I can't really remember what these guys did last race. I think Danny Railton retired early on in Spain. Very unfortunate. I think was involved in a couple of crashes as well. And Gonk, I think Gonk grabbed a couple of points with the late ultra soft charge, or I think super soft charge actually around Spain. So a good result for Gonk in Spain, and let's hope he can build on that for Monaco. I don't know if these guys are on a pad or on a wheel. I believe Danny Railton is on a pad. With Gonk, I'm actually not sure. I do believe he's on a pad as well.
I think they're both on the pad.
Yeah. All right, on to the Force India. Just one driver.
The Force India, we've just got Ant tonight. He's definitely very nervous for this race. He's been saying that a lot, saying that really this is just going to be about him trying to get to the end. Unfortunately, we are missing his teammate Millstar this evening, so I'll steal the Renault spot as well. Who we've got a new driver in. Alan Muntean has been given the full-time seat, replacing Lord JB in the Renault. Unfortunately, Jade is not here racing tonight, so yeah, Alan will be on his own in the Renault this evening. He had a good race in Spain. He finished 7th. Strong result for him. This is a circuit where I think that you know, we might see more of the drivers in the midfield having a good chance to get some really, really solid points if the front runners make mistakes, which is quite likely around here.
And then on to the Toro Rossos. Obviously, the challenges of the Ferraris this season with Mali Kekec and Valdemar. Mali Kekec hurt his championship chances last time out in Spain when he crashed out in the first corner. So he'll be looking for a very good result. But again, he's on a pad, but so is his main rival, Calzo. So that'll be an interesting race between them two. And with Valdemar being on a wheel, Valdemar is a wheel user and has shown some very, very quick pace around Monaco. So if Gonzo's going to try and if Gonzo thinks he's going to have an easy day, Valdemar or even the two Red Bulls might be able to make that day just a little bit harder.
Yeah, I can say from personal experience, Valdemar is very, very quick here at Monaco. In the Haas, we've got Farthba and Coming to Get You. Yeah, this is a team that's had fairly mixed fortunes, I'd say, so far. Coming to Get You had a strong race, a fantastic last lap overtake in Spain. He'll be looking for a good result tonight. He showed some strong pace in the reserves race. For Farthba, again, I think one that's feeling quite nervous about this. He's a pad user, and he'll just be looking to try and make it to the end and pick up really what's kind of left. I think there's quite a few guys on the grid that are going to be looking for that this evening. So yeah, take us on to McLaren.
In the McLaren, we have just one driver today, as Masnat is unfortunately not with us, probably sleeping or working since he is from Australia. Today we have Shumi 3 Garcia in the McLaren. Had a very, very strong race in Spain when he grabbed third position before being disqualified, unfortunately, for not having footage. So for him, the same advice I give to Calzo: be sure to record your footage, and maybe we'll see some very good results here from Shumi. Because is he on a wheel? I do believe he is, isn't he?
Yeah, he does actually. He's just gotten a new wheel. I can say that for sure. So it'll be interesting to see if he does well on that tonight. Kind of a tough race for a first time on a new wheel. But yeah, I think the main reason why we're bringing up the sort of wheel and pad balance here is just because there is quite a big disparity at Monaco. Personally, I find that at most circuits on this game, there's a fair amount of parity, but this one in particular, it's tough on a pad. It's very difficult with the hairpin, and then also the Nouvelle chicane and the chicane in the second half of the swimming pool to keep up with the wheel drivers here. So yeah, I will take you through a quick run of the drivers' standings after the last round, just as the drivers load into the lobby. Konzo extending his championship lead. He's on 94 points, followed by Mali Kekec on 65. Calzo making up a huge amount of ground with his win in Spain. He's at 62. Then to fourth, we've got Will One Win One on 38, followed closely by Stocky on 37. Hindle on 36. Valdemar with 33. Very, very close battling there. Then we've got Millstar. He's not here tonight, but he's got 22 points. Coming to Get You's up to 15. He was given third place after Jimmy Garcia's disqualification from Spain. We got Slimbo Dude. He's got 12 points in 10th. Then we got Maznat, who's not here, as well as the admin pick rookie car, but unfortunately that's not here tonight either. And also Ant69. All three of those are on 6 points. We got Farthba with 5. And then we've got Gonk with 2. Still to score points is actually Shumi Garcia, Danny Railton, and also Alan Muntean, as his reserve points, I don't believe, count towards his tally. Go through the constructors as well. Ferrari opening up a huge gap in the constructors. Now a very profitable race for them in Spain. They're at 156. Toro Rosso with 116. A lot of ground to make up here. See if, in particular, Valdemar can do something about that tonight. Then in third, we've got Red Bull with 87. And fourth, we've got Mercedes with 49, followed by McLaren with 34. And then we've got a close battle between Force India and Haas, 28 and 24 points between them, respectively. And then down towards the bottom end of the grid, the rookie car Sauber has 6 points, Renault have 2, and Williams have 2 as well. So every team has gotten themselves some points. But yeah, those two bottom teams will be looking to really start to push their way back up the table.
Yes, we are looking down the pit lane. I don't know if James is actually with us because he's getting ready for football after the race. But James is our weatherman. James, take us through the weather for today.
Weather, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got a cold front moving in to the west, and then bright sunny shines and some showers. No, that's not true. It's qualifying. It's dry, overcast, and for every part of qualifying. In the race, we got thunderstorms, and that is a lie as well.
That is a lie.
That is a lie. It is bright sunshine.
Oh, I was so hopeful, so hopeful. I do also have confirmation. I think that's Gonk saying that he is actually on the wheel, so I was mistaken about that one.
Right, so we're right on board with Gonk actually, as you say that on his outlap. So Gonk, what do we say about this season? He's not had the best of seasons, but managed to get a good couple of points in Spain. Do you think he can be a threat for the front runners, especially because he's on a wheel?
I think this is a good opportunity for him to pick up some strong points. I think that he's maybe not had the results that he would have wanted out of the first few races of the season. I definitely think that he's a stronger driver than just 2 points so far. So yeah, I do believe this is his it's his rookie season in the World Series. So it does take a little bit of time just to get used to things, and in particular stuff like the ETL rules and whatnot can be a little bit different from other leagues. So yeah, that can take a little bit of getting used to. But I do think that he's someone that will start to move up the table as the season goes on, just as he starts this qualifying lap here.
He is on the super softs as well, is what I've just noticed. So Gonk going for maybe a different strategy compared to the rest of the field, because the rest of the field is fitting ultra softs at this point, as we see a lot of cars out straight away. Most cars actually being on a flying lap. The only two cars that are in are Farper and Ant69, who for some reason decide to wait. So maybe there's something they know that we don't know. But I guess we'll find out after quali, as Gonk is on his first quali lap. It's not looking very bad so far, is it?
Yeah, it's been tidy. It's been a tidy lap. I think this is a strange decision to go on the super softs, though. I mean, track position here at Monaco is basically everything. So I would assume that he's going to put on a set of ultra softs later in the session. Maybe he's going to go out and do, say, 3 laps on these, really get used to the conditions, and then pop on a set of ultra softs. That is something I've seen some drivers do before. But yeah, if I were on the grid today, I certainly would be aiming to qualify in those ultras. It's been a tidy lap, though.
Let's have a look as he comes around the last corner, and let's see where. Gonk's obviously going to put himself in first position, but with what time is he going to do that with the super soft compound of tyres? 13.8. Would you say that's a solid lap, or do you think that needs a little bit of improvement?
I think that's. I think we'll see him go quicker than that. The lap looked, it looked fairly. It was tidy, but he wasn't pushing the walls too much. Mali Kekic going to pole.
Sorry to interrupt. Stocky spinning it in the last corner. Sorry, second to last corner. That's the corner of Raskas, that is. So Stocky in the way there, maybe for other cars, and he is pitting. So Stocky on his outlap. First outlap, not a success for Stocky, as he will be putting on another set of ultra soft tyres and probably another wing as well, which is very useful for a track like Monaco, as SBO Mali Kekic is the first car, the first car on the grid at the moment, with an 11.1, as we ride on board with Konzo, who is on what seems like a very good lap here on the ultra softs, but we've missed the start of the lap, so let's see where Konzo can get himself on the grid as he rounds up the last corner. Good on traction as he comes across the line to put himself in second provisionally with an 11.2. I'm sorry to say this, Curly, but I'm a bit disappointed by the time so far. I expected the boys to go a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it is very early in the session.
Ricaldo's going to go very close to top.
Oh, half a tenth. Yeah, it is very, very early in the session. These times will start to come down as we get towards the final laps. In particular, those that have had a strong banker will have the confidence to really push. And this circuit, you've really got to be getting close to the barriers if you want to get the most out of it, as Calzo has a massive tank slapper out of Casino Square there.
Oh, Ant69's just been the car on his outlap.
Oh, yeah, Force India.
I don't know what's happened there. I just jumped on board with him. Ant69 just seemed to go straight on. Straight into the wall. It showed an outlap because he was waiting for Calzo, and that's why I jumped on board with him initially. But Ant69, his qualifying session's over. He'll be starting from the back of the grid.
Konzo, get on to Konzo. He's going to be very close to his brother.
Let's have a look here.
After him coming to get you.
Do with the Scuderia Ferrari. He puts himself on 11-0 as Valdemar actually gets pole. We missed that,
And coming to get
unfortunately.
you.
And we'll get on board with, we'll get on board coming to get you now.
Separating top two. Less than a tenth separating the top three.
It's incredibly close up the top there with Valdemar. He's on pole at the moment. That might be expected, I would say, to be honest, after having seen him race at Monaco a few times. But coming to get you's on a fairly cautious lap at the moment, so it looks like he's kind of warming up to the track. But yeah, he had good pace in the reserves race, pulled off a couple overtakes as well, and yeah, I mean, qualifying here is incredibly important. It's probably the most important qualifying session of the year, but of course, you know what, you can throw it all away if you make a mistake during the race. So yeah, it's really about getting yourself up near the top. Has come to get you goes 7th, and yeah, look at how close that grid is. He's only 5/10ths off a provisional pole at the moment, and he is in 7th place.
I think, although, that we will see them times drop, because obviously it is very important to get that banker lap in it, just to make sure you don't start in very last of the grid. So a lot of cars. Konzo posts the quickest time of the session now with a 10.9. So Konzo taking provisional pole. I think we will see more cars dropping into the 10s as this qualifying session is getting to its end, with only 5 minutes remaining here, as we are still on board with coming to get you. We'll jump on board with someone else, but there's not many people on an outlap. We'll get on board with Konzo, see what Konzo's doing. But Konzo seems to be on a cool down lap as well. So every car out on track, every car in the pits will be making themselves up for a final run on most likely the ultra soft tyre to try and beat that time of Konzo at 10.954.
Gonk still on the super softs. And looks of it. Oh no, he's on the ultra softs now. Sorry, he's on the ultra softs. Going out on the ultra softs.
Interesting fact here.
That Stocky as well.
Yeah, I'm on board with Stocky for his outlap. We'll go on the boat with a lap for him for a moment. Danny Railton though, he's fitted the super soft tyres after putting a ultra soft lap in first. So Danny Railton, the Williams team in general, going for a very different strategy compared to the other teams. So who knows what that will bring them. But I'm on board with Stocky. James, can you take us through a lap with Stocky or Curly Whirly, for that matter? I don't mind.
I'm not on
James,
board.
you want this one?
Yeah, go on, I'll take it. So around the final corner, brushes the wall and DRS open, maximum traction. Finding the 100-metre board, brake, get close to the wall inside as possible, got as much of the curb as possible and brush the outside of the wall. Nicely done. Up the big climb to Casino. Yep, holds the inside of the curb. Again, very tight around here. If you can clip the curb on the inside, we didn't, but it doesn't matter, he's already done a 19.0, good first sector. We've seen an 18.9 by Konzo, so plenty of time for Stock to make up. Around the hairpin, best way around the hairpin I've learned recently is to actually attack the curb, and obviously it swings you back around to the corner. So through the tunnel now for Stocky, setting himself up for the swimming pool. Down from 100 metres. Nice and tidy through there. Oh, is it the wall? Oh, is it the wall? Is it the wall on the exit?
That's a lap over,
Is it the
unfortunately,
wall
for Stocky.
on the exit?
And,
Don't know if he's lost anything.
Looking like a good lap though from Stocky. Looking very, very quick. So we might see him go for another lap.
Got lots of guys on laps at the moment. Valdemar, Mali Kekic is in the middle of his lap. I think we should go for Valdemar. He's just starting his lap now, coming down into Saint Devot. Quite cautious through there, but it's a clean exit up the hill. That exit down there is really, really important to get a good run up here now through Casino Square. He's just pushed the throttle a little bit too much there mid-corner, and that's compromised his run through the right. And it looks like he has backed out of this lap. He does. So we've got Mali Kekic now coming down towards to back. Let's see how aggressive he is. Here's a little bit wide of the apex there. And now into the swing pull section. This is where the pad really, really struggles. He's got some traffic, but Shimi Garcia does a good job to get out of the way. Down towards Raskas. Incredibly late on the brakes. Runs deep into the corner. That'll cost him a little bit of time. Now to the final corner, getting incredibly close to the wall. We'll see if Mali Kekic is able to improve here. No, he isn't. We've also got Hindle crossing the line. Where does he go? He doesn't improve either. So a couple of guys struggling on their first lap on this set of tyres, but they will continue for likely 2 more laps.
I'm on board with Calvin now, just finishing off the first sector. What does he do with the sector times, James?
I'll get on board now. 1 second.
It's an 18.8 for Calzo in the first sector. That's a good time.
Yeah,
It's a great first sector by Calzo then. So let's get on board with the rest of the lap then, as Calzo goes towards the tunnel and then towards the Nouvelle chicane. It's looking like a good lap so far from Calzo.
Valdemar's just hit a wall on his lap and he's lost half of his front wing. That'll effectively be his qualifying session over.
Yeah, but we have seen on this track, that's what I noticed yesterday, that sometimes it does repair your wing on track in qualifying. As Calzo rounds up the Nouvelle chicane, very tidy, a little bit wide into the back, but still looking very good for this lap. What's he done with the second sector, James, as he hit the wall there?
Oh, it's alright. Not on board. Yeah, he's done a 33.6, so not the quickest. I think he's equalled his brother there. So it's all down to this final
comes round the final corner with 40 seconds to spare. What can Calzo do? Calzo goes forward. He's got the same time as Con.
He's got, there's a thousandth out. He's 1,000th difference on my screen. He's 1,000th out.
So,
it's the exact same time on mine as well.
Exact same time on my screen as well. So Calzo just pipping his brother. Calzo was made a mistake on that lap. So that's Calzo's qualifying over. I'm on board with Conzo though. What can Conzo do about his brother here?
Going to get you crossing the line. He goes to 7th. It's not a big improvement from him. Look at how close these guys are. This is incredible.
Valdemar's not going to improve.
On board with Conzo for that final sector. Conzo looking very, very quick to that final sector here as the brakes for Raskas.
That is a fantastic second sector.
What can Conzo do then? Can he snap forward right back from his brother?
This is going to be a 10.5.
That's a good lap by Conzo, 10.106, and that's looking like pole at the moment with Valdemar's qualifying session. Valdemar's still actually on the lap, he's still got his wing, so it might have repaired his wing on the track here for Valdemar here. As the driver.
This Limbo dude takes pole.
That's a surprise.
What a phenomenal lap from the Mercedes driver. He's just stolen it from Conzo. Calzo crossing the line now. He doesn't improve. Who else have we still got on laps? Hindle, I think, is still on one. So is Valdemar. And coming to get you absolutely flying through the swimming pool chicane.
Oh, Valdemar's crashed it.
Valdemar's crashed it. Hindle goes 5th, so Hindle beats Mali Kekec, but does not beat Valdemar, unfortunately, as Valdemar...
Coming to get you round in the final corner now.
Coming to get you. Where can he get himself?
Oh, he's 4th.
He goes 4th.
Good improvement from him there, and I do believe that is...
qualifying session. I do believe that is
yeah, every driver finished. Look at that.
What a great qualifying session here then, boys. So Salimbo do taking the surprise pole for the Mercedes boys. So Mercedes not looking bad with the first position and 6th position for Hindle. And Hindle only being a 10th away from 3rd. So a very close qualifying session here as Conzo will be looking to extend that championship lead with a P2, and Slimbo obviously not being, well, not effectively not being in that championship, having only joined a race ago. What will we see? Will we see Calzo being very aggressive towards his brother into that first corner? Because Calzo obviously 30 points behind, I believe, around about that. So it'll be interesting to see what Calzo is going to do with that first corner.
Yeah, phenomenal qualifying lap from Calzo there. He's the only pad runner in the top 5, so yeah, 10.9, that's a solid time. I would also say that, you know, still this qualifying session is incredibly close. You got to feel for the likes of the Red Bulls. They're down in 8th and 9th with 11.4s, which is a very respectable lap time. They'll be a little disappointed with that.
So good session then. James, take us through the grid order.
So we got Slimbo Dude with a great final lap there, only less than a 10th ahead of Conzo, who himself had a brilliant lap to get away from his teammate, and brother Calzo, who lines up 3rd right next to him, and then it's less than a 10th between Calzo and Hindle. So we've got coming to get in 4th, Valdemar 5th and Hindle in 6th, Mali's in 7th, Will win 1 with a decent quali in 8th, Stocky 9th, Gonk 10th, and I missed the rest, but that was your top.
Well, Ali Muntar was in 11th, Shumi Garcia was in 12th, and I did indeed miss the rest of that as well, as we see the pit lane now. Boys, strategy-wise, James, you called the 1-stop earlier. Do you agree with that, Curly, or do you think a 2-stop might actually work on this track?
Got to be a 1-stop round here. Track position is absolutely everything. Also look for drivers pitting early and going for an undercut just to try and jump those that are in front of them. Although you've got to be careful with that, because if you pit yourself into traffic, then you'll end up losing places. So it's about finding a gap and just going for it.
James, beware though, you are on the grid, but I think there is a car behind you, so try and get out of the way of that car as soon as possible, and then Curly will take us through the start phase.
Yeah, it's no one behind
As
it.
we ready ourselves for the start here in Monaco, round 6 of the World Series, as we're up to 5 lights, and it is lights out and away we go in Monaco, and it's a fantastic start for Slimbo Dude in first position. Konzo's had a relatively poor start off of the grid. Calzo very close to him behind. We've also had Valdemar, he's maintained, oh sorry, Coming to Get You, seems to be through on Valdemar, and yeah, he's maintained fourth. I think he started there. But yeah, it looks like a relatively clean getaway. I think every single driver making it through turn one. Fantastic to see that. As we come down to the hairpin for the first time, this is a very tricky spot on the first lap where cars can very easily concertina. We do have that a little bit further back. We've had a Williams, a McLaren, and one more car behind them. I believe that was Shimi Garcia and Farthba. Shimi Garcia is missing, Farthba is missing a lot of wing. Shimi Garcia is missing wing. So yeah, they've all just concertinaed into each other, but yeah, good clean getaway at least up the front.
Ant as well. Ant's missing some wing as well.
So a very unfortunate getaway there for the last three guys. The three top runners are immediately putting on the pressure and trying to bolt away from Coming to Get You in fourth position, who's forming a bit of a truly train behind him with Valdemar, Hindle, Wilwan Winwan, Mali Kekec, Ali Muntian even, and Stocky all within that train. As I'm riding on board with Calzo, who's following these two wheel runners quite nicely. Slimbo Dude makes a mistake. What's Konzo going to do here? Is Konzo going to get past? I think
Well, they are
Konzo's
side by
made the
side.
move,
Konzo's just ahead.
Yeah,
Konzo has gotten the move done into Casino Square. Fantastic stuff, and now we have the Ferrari leading the race. Slimbo cracking under the pressure a little bit here in Monaco. I believe that was his first pole position, and he's kind of throwing it away there. Another driver I think to keep an eye on these early laps is Valdemar, who's looking very, very racy behind Coming to Get You. Valdemar will maybe be a little bit disappointed with that qualifying performance. I think he expected, quite frankly, to be on pole here today, so he's got a bit of work to do, but he's looking very, very quick behind Coming to Get You at the moment.
I'm having a look at Slimbo Dude's wing. The wing does still look intact, but then again, the game sometimes does not show the wing damage that is actually on the car. But Slimbo Dude following Konzo nice and tidy now, so it doesn't look like there's any damage for Slimbo Dude. In the meantime, Calzo losing a little bit of pace towards the front two, as Coming to Get You is well, being put under pressure, and Valdemar's all over the back of him.
Yeah, interesting little strategy choice here further back as well. Shimi Garcia instantly goes to the pits to fix that front wing. He's going onto the softs. But the likes of Ant and Farthba, who have wing damage, they didn't actually pit. They are both carrying on, so they clearly think that it's better just to keep going. Interesting choice there. I'm not sure if Shimi will try to go to the end from here on the softs. I think it is possible. So he might find himself coming sort of back up through the field once everybody pits, but not a good start for those three.
I'm getting on board with the front guys as Calzo's catching back up to Slimbo Dude and Konzo. So Calzo's had a great first sector. Did show very great pace in that first sector.
Although Mali Kekec has had a problem. He's got no front wing at all. I'm not sure what's happened there, but he is falling off of the back of Wilwan Winwan very quickly. Alain Muntin is all over the back of him. So Mali Kekec, he's surely got to pit here. He's missing just everything off of the front.
I've got a full wing on my screen. Unusual.
Also, if you get on board, James.
Yeah, even on board, I'm seeing a full front wing.
Alright, well, then I don't know what that is, because on my screen he does not have a front wing either. So I don't know what is he going to do here. Is he going to continue on?
No, he is struggling. So
no, he's pitting. Yeah, he's probably got wing damage. As we see, Mali Kekec, the second place driver in the championship, pitting very early in this race. This is all very positive for the Ferrari boys of Konzo and Calzo, now sitting in P1 and P3. In the meantime, Valdemar still all over the back of Coming to Get You. But this is typical Monaco. There's just not a way past, especially not in the early stages of the race where the cars are just too heavy with fuel.
Oh, Valdemar's!
It's all about it. It's all about it.
He's missing. I don't know if he's lost anything, but he definitely.
I don't think so. I think he's still got his full wheel. Full wing. It was a very light tap there. Valdemar had a look down the inside, thought better of it. Probably a smart decision than trying to go too wide through the hairpin. But yeah, I mean, getting past here, especially on this first stint, is incredibly difficult. You've really just got to hope that the driver in front of you makes some kind of mistake. It's Valdemar hitting the wall on the outside at the back. They're really pushing the car.
Obviously, Valdemar seeing the three cars in front of him.
He's looking for it. Coming to Get You closes the door.
That's a risky move there by Valdemar. But he's going to have to try something. He's got DRS now, so will he be able to make the move on Common to get here? Let's have a look at the straight line speed. Common to get here is just pulling away, even with DRS for Valdemar. So I don't know what Common to get here has done with that wing. But it can't
I think
be too
Valdemar
much.
had a poor exit out of the final corner. I was on board there, and he had to get out of the throttle mid-corner. So, yeah, poor exit. Oh, he's touched that wall again. It doesn't look like he's got damage, at least on my screen. So he will carry on, but he's really pushing the absolute limits of what's safe at this track.
In the meantime, Hindle not being able to follow that pace of Common to get in Valdemar. Hindle, obviously, former World Series champion. And has shown very great pace.
I'm going to cut you off here. Slimmo did as well, having a little bit of damage on his front wing. So he is probably going to be looking for somewhat of an earlier pit stop in the race. Maybe not now, but well, really as early as he can get away with. But he's starting to drop off the back of Konzo a little bit.
Good spot there by you. So Konzo will be catching up to Slimbo Dude. It'll be interesting to see what Slimbo Dude is going to do with this. Whether he's going to pit or whether he's going to continue on. But I was talking about Hindle. Hindle just not being able to follow that pace of Common to get here. While Hindle, obviously a former World Series champion, and has shown some very great pace here in the past. But just can't hook it together as I think, is that the car pitting? No, Slimbo Dude stayed out.
Yeah, I think that's the right decision.
What I will say is, don't write off Mali just yet. He's still in some good points. Looking at where he is and the gap in front, I think he'll be looking to undercut quite a lot of people and then just basically cause a train at the end. So
I think the problem for Mali Kakic is that he is on the super soft tires, and he pitted what, lap 2 or 3. I don't think that they'll get to the end from there. So I think it's likely that he'll have another pit stop, probably back onto the ultra softs late in the race. I wouldn't want to even think about the amount of tire wear you'd have if he tried to make it to the end.
Let's have a look then at the pit stops. Indeed, only Mali Kakic and Shumi Garcia making that stop, and Slimbo Dude staying out for the time being, but losing time.
Valdemar's broken his wing into back.
Has he?
Fully. Yeah, he's broken his front wing. He's just
understeering
behind Coming to get you, and he's pushing too hard through there, and he's missing a significant amount. This will be interesting. He chooses to pit. Now, I have seen one driver pit on lap 6 for a set of super softs and take them to the end, and it is the super soft tires. We'll see if Valdemar might attempt that. It's very on edge in terms of tire wear. He'll likely be up there at about 85% at the end of the race. That might be a risk that Valdemar takes here today, but he will maybe pull off a little bit of an undercut here, but he's got to make up that 5 seconds of the wing change. It's a tough position now. He looks to have some very strong pace though.
Yeah, but he's going to have to be very easy on his tyres and really not push the car at all if he wants to make them tyres last to the end. As Valdemar comes out in P11 behind Farper and sorry, in front of Farper but behind Gonk. But he's got a 10-second gap now, Valdemar, so he's got all the space to push to see if he can can claw that gap back and see if he can make the undercut work. In the meantime, though, Stocky's still stuck behind Ali Montaigne. I think Stocky's got some great pace, but he just can't show it at the minute.
Yeah, we'll also just point out on a personal note here, in the bet between Dom and Farthba, that Farthba was going to make it to the end of lap 2. It does appear that while Farthba's sort of half the winner, he does only have half of his front wing, but he has made it past lap 2, so congratulations to Farthba on that one, because he was a little bit nervous about that earlier on.
So yeah, so
what
that's
what are you going to give him, Dom?
I don't know, because it's a half and half, isn't it? He's made it to lap 2, but it's not good as wing, so. Yeah, I'll have a word with Farber, what we're going to do about that at the end of the race. But in the meantime, we'll focus... sorry, what?
Half a euro?
Well, Mali Kakic has actually just gone around the outside of Farthba at Raskas there. Farthba's lost all of his wing, so I think in the moment that he's realised that he's on the stream, he's promptly put it in a wall. A bit unfortunate there, but he's in the pits. He was near the pits when that happened, so he's actually putting on a set of the ultra soft tires. He'll be looking to go for about 15-20 laps or so on those, and then put probably another set on towards the end of the race.
So Farber pitting again. Was that his first stop? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's his first stop. Interesting situation here with the Williams cars in 9th and 10th. Gonk is being held up fairly considerably by Danny Railton, yet Danny Railton doesn't seem in the least bit interested in letting him go. So no team orders here at Williams, and I think this is hurting Gonk's race a little bit. He's definitely stuck, and they're really falling off of the back of you know, the group in front of them, Stocky and Ali Montiel and such.
Calvo's dropped off the back of Simbo, dude, and he's forming a bit of a train at the minute, so he's coming to get you. And Hindle's just holding it on as well, just behind him.
As we have Stocky in the pits, he's got a front wing change as well. He's onto the super soft. He'll be looking to go to the end. He's going to get passed by Mali Kekec, who might try to go to the end as well. I'm not sure. He should come out in front of Shumi Garcia here. So yeah, Stocky well, it's an okay pit window. The tires will be fairly close to on edge by the end of the race, but he should make it from about here. And now is really the point where the drivers have got to be thinking about an undercut and when to pit. The super softs should just about make it to the end from here. So yeah, if you're within that sort of 1 second window of the car in front, 1.5 seconds thereabouts, and you can find yourself some clean air further back in the field, you really just got to pull the trigger and go for it. And maybe for Gonk sitting in P9 at the moment, that might be the way to do it, because he's really just, oh no, he's hit the inside wall of Tabak. He's had a half spin, but he's got no damage. Fortunately for him, very, very fortunately, he didn't put himself into a wall there. That was very lucky for Gonk. He does keep going, but he's lost the position to Valdemar, who's really charging on these super softs.
I'm on board with Slimwood, who just hit the wall again at turn 1. His car looking very unstable pretty much all throughout the race, and I don't know if that is because of his wing or because of his setup or because of the way he drives. But in the meantime, Calzo still not able to follow that pace as An69 gets lapped for the first time in this race. The first car being lapped, I believe. But yeah, Calzo meanwhile forming that little train with coming to get you and Hindle. Hindle does seem to have found a little bit of pace after Valdemar pitted, and is now catching up to coming to get you.
Oh, Valdemar just basically pushing Danny Railton through the hairpin. Danny Railton very, very slow through there. Valdemar is actually going to have a look at no. Danny Railton lets him through. That's interesting. Danny Railton's just held his teammate up for about 7 laps, and he's now let Valdemar through.
Somebody's in pits. Somebody's in pits.
So Slimwood in the pits. Does he get his wing change? Yes, he does get his wing change.
Yes.
So a very wise choice there by Slimwood. But the thing is, he's going to get stuck behind cars that he wouldn't have got stuck behind if he wouldn't have changed that wing. As Hindle picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple corner cut warnings. So that is unfortunate for Hindle in lap 11. Let's hope he doesn't pick up any more of them. Well, that'll hurt.
Going to be close between Slimbo and Valdemar at the exit of the pits. Slimbo just coming out now. Valdemar, is he going to be able to get around the outside of Saint Devot? He'll have a better run up the hill. Oh, he's hit the wall there. Doesn't look like he's got damage. He's right behind Slimbo. Can he get a move done into Casino Square? He does go up the inside. There's a little bit of contact. He's kind of pushed Slimbo wide, but Slimbo's got the inside now for the right-hander, and he should be able to defend this down to Massenet. Park your car in the middle of the track, Slimbo. He doesn't, but Valdemar is not able to get past. Very, very bold move there. Valdemar's run into the back of him, and he's broken another wing. And yeah, that was a little bit sloppy into the hairpin there from Valdemar. I think he's getting maybe a little frustrated now, but yeah, he's probably going to have to pit again at this point. I mean, that's a lot of damage.
Well, that's just Valdemar showing his impatience around the track.
Hindle's in the pits.
Oh, sorry, we're going to walk Hindle.
Coming to get you in the pits as well.
Right.
Konzo and Hindle into the pits now for Calzo, and coming to get you. They've got to get their foot down, try and have a couple really good laps, and see if maybe see if Calzo can jump ahead of Konzo, and for coming to get you, if he can maintain that position to Hindle, he needs a good in lap. Whereas Konzo come out, he's just behind the Red Bull of Will One Win One. Hindle, he is out in front of Slimbo Dude, so Slimbo Dude with the wing change, that's almost certainly cost him dearly against Hindle. Hindle's going to be, he's catching up to Ant at the moment, who is a lap down and does very quickly get out of the way as Farth picks up a time penalty. However, Hindle, we do know, also has a 3-second penalty, and that can be really, really crucial at this track.
Yeah, obviously Danny Reelton. Oh, sorry, something happened with Danny Reelton on my screen. Oh no, sorry, that's a mistake by the game. Sorry. But yeah, Slimbo Dude obviously not having the best of pit stops with that wing change, and that most definitely hurting his chances for a possible podium finish here. What is very important here, Konzo has got behind Will One Win One. We know how long Will One Win One goes on his tyres, and how much he can hold cars up. So this might benefit Calzo here.
I think for coming to get you here, he's just got to keep going. He's got to keep going and hope that these guys just get stuck. I mean, Konzo might get stuck behind Will One Win One. Hindle might well get stuck behind. No, Alamantine pits. So that clears Hindle. We're going to see where Calzo comes out. He's quite a long way ahead of Hindle, but Hindle definitely making up ground on Calzo there. The gap is only going to be about 1.5 seconds. So that undercut proving quite strong, as we've got Valdemar back in the pits for another wing change, so he's going to drop a fair bit back. Mali Kekec is now caught up to the back of Gonk and Danny Reelton, and this is utterly perplexing from Danny Reelton. He's let Valdemar go, but yet he's not letting his teammate go. I really don't understand that.
And what with the Konzo who just does not find a way past Will One Win One here. Obviously Will One Win One known for his very hard defending, and well, he's a tough one to get stuck behind. And Konzo's experiencing that.
Coming to get his bindi. He's lost his rear coming out of the second part of the swimming pool. He's going to go.
He's right next to the pits. He's just going to get it in. And there we go, he's alright. We've also got Mali Kekec trying to get past Gonk, and he's gone into the back of him, and he's pushed Gonk straight on at the end of the tunnel. I don't think that Gonk has wing damage, but Mali Kekec certainly does. That was a little bit careless. As coming to get you's gone onto the soft tyres. That's a bold move. I wasn't expecting that.
He's not changed his wing. He hasn't changed his wing either.
Oh, and that's really significant damage on his wing as well. He's now going to have to decide if he carries on like this or if he's going to make another pit stop.
Shumi Garcia has.
Shumi Garcia's in the wall.
That's on the outside of the swimming pool chicane. He must have just lost the rear going through there. Now Valdemar, Alamantine, is he going to let Valdemar go, or no? That was just a huge oversteer moment.
Second penalty, something very unusual for Calzo here. As he's stuck behind Will One Win One. Konzo did actually get past Will One Win One. We missed that with all the mayhem going on further down the field. But Calzo now getting stuck behind
Konzo's actually lost a different wing.
Has he?
Yeah, Konzo's lost a little bit.
Yeah, left side.
That's probably
Calzo now stuck behind the Red Bull. He's incredibly close to back. And he's got to find a way through here, because with the front wing damage for Konzo, Calzo can win this race. He's incredibly close through the swimming pool. He has a little think about it, but he's not able to get past Will One Win One pits. God, that commentary name is horrific. But he does go into the pits, and this will be his first and only pit stop under the super soft tyres, following the same strategy. And he will have a fresher set of tyres compared to pretty much everyone around him. Coming to get you is back in the pits as well for a new wing.
What will they do now with the tyres? I hope for him he's going on super soft tyres. If Valdemar picks up a 3-second penalty, as coming to get you.
He's right behind Alamantine, looking well, pretty much desperate to get past. I did see him almost slide into the wall earlier on at Saint Devot in the start of this lap. He's tapped Alamantine actually out of the final corner, and past he goes. I'm not really sure about that move. That wasn't particularly kind. I don't think it was intentional, but he did kind of run into the back of him there. Coming to get you is out on a set of ultra soft tyres. That's
Mali Kekec just Daniel. That was unusual, very unusual.
Oh, he's lost all of his wing. He's lost all of his wing. I think he's going to retire his car here, Mali Kekec. Yeah, he is going to retire his car, and unfortunately, Mali Kekec has decided to call it a day. But in the meantime, the Mercedes, but Hindle lets Limbo Dude through.
No, that was
Hindle with wing damage as well.
So Konzo and Hindle both having wing damage. I was about to say Hindle's got a chance to win this race because he was all over the back of Calzo a little bit earlier, but that wing damage is just well, is very damaged. It damages podium chances here for Hindle.
Well, I mean, here's something to think about. Konzo with front wing damage. Calzo has a 3-second time penalty. The Slimbo Dude could very well win this race, despite the wing damage earlier on. If he can. Yeah, I mean, Slimbo's in a good shot here. He's got to catch up to the leading two, and then after that, he's really just got to hope that there's a mistake there. But yeah, Calza with that 3-second penalty is really going to hurt him, because it's likely that both Slimbo and Hindle will get within that 3-second margin.
Well, I'm not sure Hindle will with that damage, because obviously that damage on the pad, I mean, you know how that is, Curly. You were a pad driver yourself.
Valdemar has retired from the session.
We'll get on board with him. He's retired himself.
He's still going, so both Toro Rossos calling it quits here in Monaco. That's disappointing. I don't think the team manager will be too happy about that one. Valdemar has been through quite a few front wings, but I mean, you know, it's Monaco. You've just got to keep going, because people in front of you will continue to make mistakes, and it's pretty much the longer the race goes, the more mistakes that people make as they start to lose concentration a little bit, because it's quite a long race and you've really got to concentrate hard, as Danny Railton has spun it at Rascasse, and fortunately he's right next to the pit slow. I don't think he actually has damage, but yeah, he just tapped his rear right tyre off the inside there, and he's spun it round, and that is allowed Will One Win One and Stocky to go through as well. Alamontine up to 7th. This is looking like a solid performance from the Renault driver. Again, he's been quiet, but going well, coming to get you flying on the ultra softs, but I'm sure that he's got another pit stop to make, so he's really got to get his foot down and start making up ground and getting some overtakes done.
Yeah, Will One Win One very lucky to not lose a wing with that spin of Danny Railton there, because we know this game, unlike other games, does not always ghost the car in time for other cars to get by. But Will One Win One very lucky to escape there, as Will One Win One looking very quick here, quicker than Stocky actually, and the Red Bulls looking for a good result here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for Will One is that he's a long way back off the top 4, 22 seconds, but he's got a full wing intact and he's looked to have some solid pace, so yeah, he might be able to start to edge that gap down. He's got a long time to do it. As I'm just on board with Calzo at the moment. You can see Conzo, you know, visibly struggling through Casino Square there. A very difficult corner to be missing a little bit of your front left end plate. But Calzo almost running into the back of him at the hairpin, and Conzo really starting to struggle.
Do you think they'll?
Just a quick note on Mali as well. It was coming into the end of the first sector. And it appears Danny Railton brake checked him, but I've been on board with Danny Railton and it's actually lagging. So SPL has just basically not seen the lag, and it was running to the back of Danny Railton quite hard. So he must have got
I'm watching Calzo here as well, who's looking a little bit twitchy, coming to get you. He's in the 12s at the moment on these ultra soft tires. He's absolutely flying. He's taken, I think, about 4 seconds out of Alamontine within the last 2 laps. And Alamontine, you know what? I think that's a fairly sensible decision. He just lets him go. He knows the coming to get you is a lot quicker, and he's not going to hamper his own race fighting what would probably be a losing battle. So, yeah, coming to get you now has 5.5 seconds to catch up to the Red Bull of Stocky in front of him.
Casino and 69's had another pit stop.
Oh, the Ferraris are lagging a lot.
There's a yellow
they
flag
are
out,
twitching all over the place, and I know that they were wondering about resetting the connection. Stocky has spun it at Rascasse. Sorry, we've missed that. Got, I believe, his full wing.
No, he's missing a part
close.
He's missing a part of the
He's
wing
missing
on
a
the
part
right
of it. So yeah, that has released coming to get you, and Alamontine coming to get you is now 8 seconds behind Will One Win One, and you know, with the pace that he's got, I don't think it'll be that long until he's catching him.
Yeah, but the thing is, when he catches him, what then? Because obviously we've seen in the race yesterday, you can catch a car, but getting past is a whole different story, especially around Monaco. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as coming to get you is caught, I think, at full second in one sector alone. So coming to get you showing some good pace here, but will it be enough to get past Will One Win One?
Well, the main thing for coming to get you as well is that he's on these ultra soft tires. He will almost definitely have to make another pit stop. I don't think 25 laps on the ultra softs is possible. I mean, maybe if you're very light on your tires, that might be possible, but I think it's likely that he's going to be making another pit stop, so he's really going to be looking kind of behind him a bit and trying to pull you know, sort of a pit stops gap on those drivers behind him.
Well, on board with Calzo, still stuck behind his brother, and I was going to say, are they going to call team orders? But I think if they would have called team orders, that would have happened a long time ago, because Calzo's still stuck behind Conzo. These two, obviously, battling other teams in the Constructors' Championship, but battling each other for the Drivers' title, and Konzo taking that lead, and definitely does not want to give it out of hands, because we know how quick Calzo is, and Calzo, a driver that's probably going to pick up a couple of wins later on in the season. So Konzo's going to try and get every single win and point that he can get.
And Slimbo dude really pushing. He was incredibly close to the inside wall at Tabac there, really just throwing the car in, and he has turned this 3-second gap into just under a second. So yeah, I mean, look, if I were Konzo, despite the wing damage, there is no way I'd be letting my teammate through in this situation. Absolutely none. You know, you're in the position of 1-2, and you can kind of hold station here, and yeah, you know, I'm pretty sure that Konzo is thinking about this championship, and with Mali Kekec out of this race now, as assuming that Calzo makes it to the end, he will be into second of the championship, and that will be in the back of Konzo's mind. You can see them taking different lines through the hairpin, very much showing this sort of the wheel line and the pad line through there, because it is different for the two inputs.
It's pretty much the same situation as yesterday. I don't know if our viewers have watched the race of yesterday. The guy in first thinking about the championship, the guy in second being way quicker, and the guy in third from another team catching them up. It's pretty much the same situation, and well, let's see about the outcome. Because if the outcome is anything like last night, then Calzo's going to lose his wing and he's going to finish third. Isn't that right, James?
Oh, sorry mate, I'm just, no, go on, what was the question?
I was saying this is the exact same situation last night, but if it has the same outcome, then Calzo's going to finish third and lose his wing. So we'll see about that. What's going to happen here?
Oi. Yeah, no, it's yeah. I mean, like last night, the ideal situation is let Calzo just jump ahead of Konzo. If it's team orders, just let Konzo just sit behind Calzo, and just tell Calzo to. Just keep the gap around 2 seconds, so that when it does come to the end, it's going to be very close though, because you'd have to time it perfectly so that Konzo gets past Limbo, gets past Calzo at the end, but
yeah,
Calzo doesn't lose enough time.
They're not looking like that situation. Now, I was just suggesting with Curly or discussing with Curly that they're probably going to hold station here, because there's not really much that they have to fight for at this minute.
Yeah, I think trying to orchestrate something like that would be a little bit too risky, as Slimbo is very, very sideways through to back there. He's really pushing these rear tires. I do know that he doesn't run traction control, so that explains the sideways nature of his car. But yeah, I think if they were going to try and do a swap, they needed to do it earlier, because now they're in a situation where if they do try and then swap the drivers around, Slimbo dude is close enough that he may able to potentially get past, you know, to take advantage of that happening. So yeah, I think right now they've just got to hold station and just try to keep it consistent. We've also got Coming to Get You just flying up to the back of Will 1 Win 1. He's taken that 8-second gap down to well, just a second in not a very long time.
Yeah, I'm aware with Coming to Get You. Will 1 actually being stuck behind the lapped car of Farper, who's actually not letting him go. So I don't know what the tactic is here. I don't know if Farper is actually trying to hold Will 1 up on purpose. But Farper just not adhering to the blue flag rules, getting out of the way there. Very strange place to get out of the way there. Not very neat driving by Farper, if I have to be perfectly honest with you. But Will 1 being freed now, but Come to Get You has now closed that gap up to 0.4 of a second, partly due to Farper, but partly due to his tyres. So let's see what Come to Get You can do now, because he's closed the gap up, but what's going to happen? Can he get past?
Yeah, during the pit stop phase as well, we have had Gonk able to get up past Danny Wilton, so he's finally through there, and he is chasing after Stocky, who's got a fair amount of damage. But yeah, Coming to Get You now, I mean, where on earth are you going to get past this Red Bull? And we know that Will 1 can drive a very, very wide car at times. This is going to be tricky for Coming to Get You.
I'll have to look at pit stops. Coming to Get You actually being the only car apart from Farper and Ant on the 2 stop, and the rest of them all still on the 1 stop, despite having damage. So some very odd decisions here. Normally, if you have
We've
damage
got a
here,
pit stop happening.
sorry,
We've got Stocky in the pits.
oh, you're stuck in the pits. Changing that front wing and putting on the ultra soft tyres. And so Stocky deciding that wing damage is enough, and he wants to have some clear air to try and see what he can do about that position, because he was in 8th position, so I think does only lose 1 position. That's 2 now actually, with Danny Railton getting past, as Hindle picks up another 3-second time penalty. So what Will Win One is 26 seconds behind him, so that's not really hurting his chances here, as Stocky's letting the leaders through. The leaders actually already there, so the leaders are showing some very good pace here as we get on board with Calzo still stuck behind Conzo, half a second between them. But there's just no way past that Ferrari. Conzo's trying to make that Ferrari as wide as possible, and he's making that work at the minute.
Yeah, I think if you are a pad user, you've really got to be looking at, if you're trying to get past somebody that's on the wheel, you can't really do it in the tunnel because you lose a lot of time through the hairpin, and you can't really do it into turn 1 because you're going to lose a lot of time through that second part of the swimming pool chicane, and then you just won't be close enough normally. Hold on, sorry, Come to Get You's getting very, very close to Will One Win One. But yeah, if you're in Calzo's shoes, you really want to be looking to make a move either through Casino Square or down into Massey. That's probably his best opportunity to get past his teammate here. But I mean, you know, going and making a move and going side by side with your teammate at Monaco, that that might not necessarily be advisable.
I wonder if Hindle knows about Calzo's penalty, and they might just start to ease to the back of Slimbo, dude. Could easily steal a position.
Well, Hindle himself has got 6 seconds worth of penalties, so Hindle.
Oh, that's it. Okay,
yeah,
okay,
so
maybe
Hindle's
not.
not looking for that anyway. Looking for a position anywhere near that second position at the moment. Unfortunately for him, but he's got nothing to worry about for the minute, because Will Win One is now 27.6 seconds behind. So the top 4 are really showing why they are the top 4 and why they are in the teams that they are, the Ferrari and the Mercedes, showing some very good pace here up front. As they're coming together, still trying to find their way past Will One Win One, but it's not going to happen at the moment by the looks of it. As Will One Win One, well, he's not the quickest now, but he's just keeping the lines nice and tidy, not making many mistakes, and just parking the car on every apex that he can.
Has Slimbo dude made a mistake? Because he's dropped off the back of the Ferraris.
Oh, he's missing a bit of wing on the front right side.
Good spot, yeah.
So he must have made a mistake somewhere. It looks to have somewhat similar damage maybe to Conzo at the moment. So that will...
second in the meantime. I think in this lap he's got
Calzo's getting quite close. He's
so.
only 4/10 behind. He's got to maybe have a look. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it probably soon. Coming to Get You's also very, very close to Will One Win One. He's just broken his wing on the back of Will One, I think. I only just caught the very end of that, but yeah. Also, Calzo just very, very close to Conzo. He has a little look,
Yellow flag somewhere.
I
think that might be for the half of Coming to Get You's wing. He does pits for a new wing, and also probably another set of ultra softs, and hopefully he's got his setting on yes this time, because he didn't the last time. We'll see if he gets a new front wing. Yes, he does. Now, where's he going to come out? He's going to come out, well, behind Alan Muntean. He'll probably come out behind Gonk. So he needs to overtake 2 cars to get back to his position, but he'll have some incredibly quick tyres. He's going to be quite close to Gonk, actually. I think Gonk will go past. Yes, he does. So, Coming to Get You got some work to do here.
Danny Railton's getting in the way of the top 3. Oh, well, top 2. It's just gone out of the way quite nicely, actually. As soon as I said that.
It's good to see. He's got to be aware that there's another car coming, though. Slimbo Dude is not very far behind. And then we've got actually Stocky just tucked up behind Slimbo Dude, and I wonder if Stocky's going to try and pull off a Verstappen here. I don't know if you guys remember that 2015 race, but Danny Railton's got to be careful that when he lets Slimbo Dude through, that he doesn't actually let Stocky go with him, because those two are for position.
Oh, Danny Railton's got an X on his screen.
Yeah, that's not good to see. In fact, his car is incredibly slow, and now Slimbo Dude is being held up massively here. I don't know if Danny Railton's just... Yeah, he's just disappeared, so...
Oh no, he's in front of him. He's in front of him.
He's lagging. He's lagging terribly. Yeah, but he's lagging all over the shot, and
Yeah, maybe just a notice to
I'll
Danny
tell you what,
Wilson, if
though.
you are watching this, you are,
that's,
well, all over the place.
And Hindle,
It's
in the
opened up the
meantime,
gap.
Coming to
catching-
get you has just made a move on Gonk. So coming to get you up into 7th place. I'm not sure if that was an overtake or Gonk just letting him
what's
go.
happened
But
with Slimbo has actually managed to get past that car of Danny Railton. My
Yeah,
street.
it's
Oh,
just-
where is Danny Railton? Oh, Danny
He's just
Railton.
lost his way through.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, Danny
it's
Railton's
there.
lagging
Stocky's got
massively on
past
my
him
screen.
now. Stocky's got past him now.
Danny Railton.
yeah, I also
he's
saw
not. He's
Hindle
not.
and Danny Railton looked like they were making contact on my screen. I don't know if that's lag or what happened there, but no, Danny Railton is apparently back ahead again. This is incredibly confusing with the lag on his car. He is all over the circuit. So yeah, Danny Railton, if you are watching this, it might just be worth maybe pulling into the pits and having an extra pit stop or something to get out of the way of these guys, because they have no idea where you are.
And this is making sure Hindle is catching up back to his teammate with now the gap being 1.9 seconds and it was 4.1 earlier. So this playing into the hands of Hindle. This Calzo is still stuck behind his teammate. I think Danny Railton has actually let Slimbo through there, or that might be lag. I don't know. We'll probably find out in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it's really impossible to tell. I do think the Slimbo dude is ahead, but Hindle hasn't been able to get through yet.
Slimbo dude nearly losing the car going into the swimming pool section.
Yeah, I saw that.
And has he got damage? I'm not. Yeah, well, he had damage, but I'm not sure if he's got more damage from that.
Danny Railton's going to be holding up the Hindle now, unless... Oh no, he's going to let him through, he's letting him through.
Is he? Because I'm not too sure.
No, it's not.
And we know Hindle will be shouting.
He does let him through.
Hindle will be shouting in his cockpit, knowing Hindle, get out of the way, get out of the way. And he has done that, luckily for Hindle. So Hindle will be continuing his quest, catching up to his teammate. The gap now 1 point.
Oh, Stocky's got a run on Danny Railton. No, he just has to let off, but he goes down the inside into Mass and he locks both front tyres. That is, yeah, Stocky. I don't think that move is going to be thought of too kindly in the stewards, but yeah, Stocky locking up both fronts, trying to be on the brakes incredibly early, and he's just gone straight on, and Danny Railton's had nowhere to go. Stocky up to 9th now.
And Danny Railton, with that move, nearly hitting the back of Stocky in the hairpin, clearly not being happy with that move. I think kind of showing his anger by breaking that late into the hairpin and nearly hitting Stocky. But Danny Railton, he's still got a point. He's still in P10, and Farfet is actually, I think, a lap down on Danny Railton. So it's not looking like. Oh, Danny! Ooh, he's hitting the wall there. Is that Farfet? Yes, it is.
Yeah, that'll be Farth, but he's missing half of his wing again.
Danny Railton
has. Yeah. Danny Railton's lost it, and he's got no wing now at all. And he's going to have to, or is this lag? I honestly can't tell at this point. I think he's lost his wing, and he didn't pit on that lap, so he's probably going to need a pit stop here. Look at how much that car is understeering. That's unbelievable. Calzo's very close to Conzo though.
Good spot.
He's having a little look. He's just letting Conzo know he's there, but he's not going for the move yet. Once again, see that kind of difference between the bad and the wheel line through there.
It sits in the Haas, so whose Haas it is.
That's Farfbuzz.
That's probably Farfbuzz. Danny Railton calls it a day for today in P10. It's unfortunate because Danny Railton could have actually picked up a point with Farfbuzz being, over a lap behind. So very unfortunate there, a bit of a shame to decide to retire when you can still pick up that very important point for the Williams team, because I don't believe the Williams team has got that many points yet. I do believe they've only got 2 points, so they could have used that 1 point today. But unfortunately Danny Railton has retired, as Calzo still not getting past his teammate and his brother, and he's got 8 laps left to do so. Do you think he's going to swing it up the inside somewhere, guys, and maybe damage the both of their championships?
I don't know. I doubt it. I think if you're Calzo, you know you're on a pad. I think 2nd place at Monaco is a fantastic result. That is more than what you could really ever hope for. So yeah, I think for Calzo, just he's got that 3-second penalty as well. So I think he just needs to hold station and make sure that him and Conzo can just keep this gap to Slimbo Dude behind them. And speaking of Slimbo Dude, these Mercedes are getting very close now. Hindle just half a second behind Slimbo, who's following him through the middle sector, and we know that Hindle's got some penalties, but yeah, I mean, this is a difficult situation because both of these guys have got damage. I think Slimmo Dude's got a little bit more. To be honest, thinking about this now, with the gap that behind them to 0-1 win one, I think that one of them should have pit earlier and gone onto a set of ultra softs and try to come back at the top group, as Calzo's almost pushing Conso through Raskas. Calzo's just gone deep. Calzo's just gone deep into there. He would have had a perfect opportunity.
Stocky retired. Stocky, has he binned it? Yes, he has. It's Raskas.
Must have locked up and gone straight on. We still have some problems. Yeah, that's Slimbo's just let him through. So Hindle's now going to try and get after Calzo and Conzo, but he's got 6 seconds of penalties. So for Hindle, yeah, this is a tough situation. He's just got to really go for it, and hopefully he can start to pull that gap in and put some pressure on the Ferraris. But yeah, I mean, Stocky, we've seen he's been struggling on the brakes a little bit this race, and he's gone straight on. And 69 retires as well. Why is he retired? And 69, you would have had points.
I think he's disconnected, to be honest.
It must be, surely. And that'll promote Farthba up to P9. What a fantastic result that will be if he gets through the final 6 laps of this race. He's just cruising around on the soft, so all he needs to focus on now is getting to the end. Yeah, Calzo has picked up some front wing damage somewhere. I'm not sure if that's off of the back of his teammate. Doing an excellent job getting out of the way there, but Calzo's picked up some front wing damage, so he's not quite all over the back of Conzo like he was earlier.
No, I don't think he picked it up on the back of his teammate, because he did make that mistake, remember, in that last corner.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he picked it up himself. Obviously, Calzo, I think this is his first ever race around Monaco.
It wouldn't have been that, Dom. It wouldn't have been that, because he hit the other side of his car. He hit the wall on the left-hand side, not the right-hand side.
Oh, yes, he did. Well, then I don't know, but anyway, Calzo, this is his first ever race around Monaco, so this will be a great result, finishing P2 with second off the leader, and second off your teammate, the champion of this series. I think that's a great result for Calzo. But will he fling it up the inside? I doubt it, especially now with this wing damage. I think these guys are going to have to settle for first and second. It's still a great result for the both of them. And knowing Calzo, probably over the season, the quicker driver, so Calzo should be able to get a couple of points back on Conzo, but then again, Conzo being probably the most consistent driver in the whole series. So yeah, I don't know what it's going to do with the championship this.
I think particularly this season, Calzo really showing that his 1 lap pace has been phenomenal, and I know that Conzo struggled against Hindle last season in terms of qualifying, but I think you've got to say over the races this season the gap between Calzo and Conzo has been very, very big in qualifying, normally about half a second at most tracks, so that will be really what Calzo's looking for the remainder of the season, to get him kind of back up to his teammate in the championship. But yeah, I mean, if you're pad user Calzo, second place at Monaco, if you had offered him that half an hour ago, I think you would have bitten your hand off for it.
He's doing a terrific job here. Only 1.3 seconds behind as Alain Muntin picks up a 3-second penalty, and that's unfortunate because Comataghetti is only 8/10 behind on the ultra soft tyres. Let's get on board with him, because I think Comataghetti is flying like he was earlier on a different set of ultra soft. Alain Muntin, I think, letting him through. So I think a wise choice there by Alain Muntin.
Significant damage on his car there. Probably a smart call, just make it to the end. But yeah, I mean, for these guys, Almontine, Gonk, Farthba, they're going to pick up some decent points here today, and they've just got to focus on cruising around for these last few laps. They're quite far away from each other, so yeah, just cruise it around, make it to the end, and you'll pick up some good points for your teams.
I'm having a look at Slimbo Dude now dropping off nearly 4 seconds in just the space, I think 2 or 3 laps on Hindle. So that damage really costing Slimbo Dude. But a great performance nonetheless. I think Slimbo Dude showing some great pace around Monaco. Really had the chance to win that race until he unfortunately picked up some damage just as well, I think, as the other top 3. But yeah, that's Monaco for you. If you can keep your nose clean, you can win the race, and if you don't keep it clean, you're going to make it a lot harder for yourself. That's what I think all of the front 4 are experiencing, and Will win one. I think the only one to keep his nose clean is now running in 5th position. So that's not a bad result at all for Will win one.
Yeah, he's been very, very consistent. He's not quite had the pace of the top four, but yeah, he's just been keeping it nice and tidy, and he might actually have a little problem with coming to get you maybe towards the end of the race, because coming to get you is going very, very quickly on these ultra softs, but he's got 6 seconds to make up in 3 laps. It's a long way, but it's not completely out of the question. Slimbo Dude is in danger. Oh, Slimbo Dude has gone into the wall at the swimming pool. He's picked up more damage to that front wing. He's really, really struggling with that now. He's going to end up dropping outside of that 6-second window to Hindle, I think, and that will probably be P4 for him. So, assuming that Hindle doesn't get another penalty in the next couple laps, but with Slimbo, he's weaving a little bit on the straight. You can tell he's frustrated with that. He definitely had the pace to win the race today.
He does now drop out of the 6-second gap, Slimbo Dude. So, very unfortunate ending for the race of Slimbo Dude. But 4th position, I think, for the Mercedes team, 3rd and 4th is still a very good result, especially with the Toro Rossos retiring. So that might jump Mercedes into 2nd position. I'm not sure actually, but this is looking good for the Mercedes boys. Maybe not what they hoped for. Well, obviously with the Ferraris being P1 and P2, but nonetheless, I think a good result. I think Hindle should be happy with that 3rd position. Hindle was very happy with his pace on the pad, but told me before the race he knew the wheel users were going to be quicker. So he might be a little bit frustrated that Calzo is now the quickest pat user on this track for this season, but nonetheless, I think Hindle, if you would have told him before the race he would have got P3, he would have immediately signed for it. So great result for Hindle if he keeps it out of the barrier for this last lap, or these last 2 laps.
Just so you're aware, coming to get you, it's actually got a 10-second penalty.
What did he get that for?
Corner cutting. I don't know.
Probably going straight on after the contact with a Will 1 Win 1. I would imagine that will get. I imagine that will get removed post race, because yeah, I don't think that he really could have done too much about that one. I don't think he really gained much time there either. That's assuming that's what happened. He may have gone straight on at another point and gotten the penalty, but yeah, that would probably be removed at the end. But I don't believe that Will 1 has any penalties, so I don't think there's too much hope of coming to get you getting that 5th place by the end of the race. As these last laps, you've really just gotta focus hard and make sure that you don't put it in a wall, because we've seen a couple times this season over both championships, the championship and the series, that some drivers have made final laps mistakes. So yeah, just make sure you're concentrating hard for these last couple laps and bring it home.
I don't know. I think coming to get you it's gonna be very close. Like Will 1 Win 1 is taking his jolly time around some of these corners, and coming to get you on the up softs, it's not going to be too far behind him soon.
I'm having a look here at Konzo on his final lap of the race, being very cautiously making sure he does not put the car into any wall or near any wall to make sure this victory is of his own, and he brings it home to Scotland, to the Ferrari factory that is stated in Scotland in the World Series this year.
Just outside of Aberdeen.
Yeah, just outside of Aberdeen, in a town called. And we see Konzo go around the harbour chicane for the last time, taking it nice and tidy. So great result here for Konzo. If he can bring that home, that'll be his 2nd, I think his 3rd victory in a row actually, isn't it? Oh no, Calzo won in Spain, didn't he? So
Calzo won in Spain, although Konzo has been on the podium, I think. Has he been on the podium every race this season? I'm not sure, but he is going to come across the line to take the win here in Monaco. See the weaving there, very, very happy with that result. His teammate Calzo, he comes home in 2nd place, and that's a phenomenal 1-2 for Ferrari. I believe that's the 3rd one of the season. Hindle, he crosses the line in 3rd. Good result for him. Slimbo Dude is struggling with very little front wing, but he is going to make it to the end in P4. He probably had the pace to win this race, but a bit of weaving there. He doesn't look too disappointed with that result. And we can hop back to Will 1 Win 1 and coming to get you's got that gap down to 1.3 seconds, but I don't think it's quite going to be enough. Will 1 should be able to hold on to this through the final sector. as we also have our drivers that were a lap down. That's Alan Muntean, Gonk and Farthba have finished the race, so it is this pair that are the final two to come across the line. Will One will hold on for 5th place, coming to get you grabs 6 after what was maybe a little bit of a disappointing race for him. Good pace, but just too many mistakes.
So that brings this race to an end. A great show for a Monaco Grand Prix. I think a lot of action in this race. Not usually what we see, but there we have the podium sitters. The Ferraris getting another one too. I think that's actually the 4th win in a row for the Ferrari boys, if I'm correct. And Conzo being very happy with that trophy. Obviously, as he extends his championship lead now over Calzo, because Malik Kekes did retire, so I think that makes Calzo the new number 2 in the championship. But Conzo still extending that lead over Calzo, and Hindle bringing home a good point haul and getting closer to that 3rd position in the championship. And James, walk us through the order of the standings. The final result.
The final result. So you got Conzo and Calzo with great 1-2 finish. Calzo obviously picking up the penalty, but it didn't matter in the end. Hindle with a good drive at the end, did well to get up from 6th up into the top 3. Even despite those penalties, he pulled away from Simbadood. In 4th, Will One Win One. I think he'd be very pleased with the 5th position around here. I think he was quite worried, like Curly said, about winning it. So a good result there, coming to get you. Again, a bit disappointing from where he started, but good result. Ali Muntean, good result as well, and Gonk coming up from 11th and 10th respectively. And then 9th and 10th have turned into AI cars. I think one was...
Farthba was the final finisher. The 10th car was Ant69, however, he lagged out, I think, during the race, so he will not be classified.
So unfortunate there for Farthba, who won't be classified. But what we will do is invite the 3 podium sitters in for a little chat, a little interview, as we do every World Series and World Championship race. So Curly, if you can get that sorted for us, then we can have a word with them very soon. The 2 Scotsmans and the what is it? What do you call it? The Boltoner, James? What do you call that?
Well,
for the Boltonese.
Boltoner, yeah, it could, yeah. There's not really a term that I can think of. Boltoner, yeah. You just call him the Boltoner.
The Boltoner.
Just call him the I don't know. Yeah, just call him the Boltoner. I'm not here to offend. I'm not here to offend people.
Does that mean does that mean the Hindle lives in the Dreadfort?
The what?
House Bolton.
Oh, House. Oh, very good. And to all those fans who are Game of Thrones fans, that's a great reference from Curly, really.
Yeah, I think Mercedes will be very, very happy with 3rd and 4th today. They've been struggling a little bit this season in the constructors. We're currently sitting in 4th when I think before the season started, some people had maybe put them up there as constructors title challengers. But this is a great result for them today, especially with that mistake from Stocky taking him out of the race. And yeah, they will pick up a lot of points on the Red Bulls in front of them and really kickstart their constructors challenge for at least maybe 32nd place. It does look like the Ferraris are pulling away quite a lot though.
As we are still waiting for the last Ferrari driver of Calzo. So Conzo, if you are there, make sure your brother joins us as well.
He is in the party, but I'm seeing no microphone from him, so I'm not exactly sure.
I've just got a notification just to say that his NAT type is NAT3. There we go.
He's left, and he should rejoin. I'll send him another invite.
Right, so we'll wait for Calzo.
I think yeah, it's there now by the sounds of it.
Oh yeah.
All right, nice. So Curly, take it away for Conzo, our race winner.
Yeah, just a reminder, you 3 have been on the podium far too many times, but just make sure your microphones are set to allow to be shared.
Mm-hmm.
And Conzo, we'll come to you first. Great win here today. Tense battle with your brothers throughout the race. Were there ever thoughts of, I'll just ask this straight away, were there ever thoughts of perhaps letting Calzo through when you had that wing damage, or were you always going to hold on to that P1?
It was a difficult one. I was actually going to think about it towards the last few laps of the race, depending what the gap was to 3rd place. But I've just not. It was a hard decision to make, to be honest. But I earned that position through me qualifying well and getting P1 off Slimbo somehow the first few laps. So yeah, I would say I earned a position. Callum had to overtake me there, but it's
fair enough. I would have done exactly the same thing. I'll go back to qualifying, setting a 10.6, a solid lap time, but then Slimbo Dude. In the final moments of the session, putting it on pole, that must have been quite a surprise.
Yeah, that was quite a big surprise to see Slimmo did up there, but hell of a lap. I mean, I could have done a little bit better for my lap, but I wouldn't have been much in it. Maybe a 10th if I'm lucky. I did a 10.3 in time trial, but that's time trial. That doesn't count. It's all down to the qualifying at the time, and Slimmo did beat me fair and square.
Yeah, it was a great performance from you both. Dom, I'll hand over to you for some more questions for a race winner.
Konzo, well, with that damage, how much did you struggle with the car, and what was your reason to not decide to pit?
The damage was only light green, so it was manageable, but it was significant because when I put on the new tyres, usually in the races that I've practiced, I'm doing like maybe 12.9s, 12.8s, same as Callum actually. So I was really surprised I wasn't even getting near that. And then I just seen the gap was coming down, and I was like, well, okay, we're going to be in a difficult situation coming up soon.
All right. Well, James, any questions for Connor?
Not that you've probably already covered. I mean, like you said, it was a similar situation to me and Dom last night, Con. So I think you probably already answered it. But what was there any chance of Callum going through? Just so you could avoid. Obviously, it didn't matter in the end because Ryan did get past Slimbo Dude. But was there any conversation midway through the race to suggest that?
There was some conversation. Callum did suggest the idea, and I knew he was going to come up with it. The minute I heard on the engineer said, not engineer, the game engineer, because we don't have one, but our game engineer said that he had a 3-second penalty. So I was like, okay. Well, what we could have done is I could have let him through maybe the last lap, and then seen if he could pull 3 seconds or not. But by the end, he damaged his wing. I don't know how he damaged his wing as well, and then he dropped off a little bit. I was managing to cope it a little bit more because on the wheel compared to the pad.
Yeah. Good. That was a good result. A good result for Ferrari anyway, and yeah, good results all around for you guys.
Cheers.
Right, we'll go on to our second place finisher, and I'll take the second place finish. I'll let you do the main questions for Hindle, James, so we'll come to you in a moment. But Calzo, second position. Happy with that result? Well, considering Malikeket's retired, or a bit disappointed because Konzo is still stretching that lead in the championship?
I'm happy that I finished second in the end, because if you told me I know there's a numerous amount of wheel drivers in the Road Series. Some are inconsistent, some are quick, but if you said to me at the start, before the race, you could finish second place, I would have said yes. But after seeing the qualifying times, I maybe thought I had a better chance of getting a podium, and I'm still gutted that Con got a gap. He's got a bigger gap now in the drivers because, let's be honest, Mali's probably a bit too far behind them. Maybe I don't know how far he is, but he's not finished the last 2 races, and I don't really see him as a championship rival anymore. Well, I'm miles behind as well, so Con's just running away right now.
Yeah, but obviously the season is still quite long. But that qualifying time, was that a surprise for you, for yourself as well, getting it into the 10.9s, or was that something you were expecting from yourself?
I was expecting to get into the 10s. That lap I put in for the 10.9, because of the pad turning, I missed the curb on the hairpin, and I couldn't get the turning, and all the time that I made up in sector 1, I did an 18.8 in sector 1, and all that time I made up, I lost at the hairpin, so I was just trying to salvage what I could.
Yeah, we actually caught that 18.8, very strong first sector, but unfortunate for you that you gave a little bit of time away towards the end. But going forward now, obviously Conzo winning a race again, you being in P2, do you think you can claw that back over the course of a season? Because you've seemed like, I'd no disrespect to Conzo, but you seemed the quicker driver so far.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. And I'm sure Carmen would agree with you on that as well. It does show if you look at the past
Dagger
couple
to
of
the heart,
results.
but yeah, reluctantly agreed to it.
If you look at the past couple of results, when I've finished ahead of them. When I've qualified ahead of them every track so far, I think, apart from Monaco now. So I would definitely say I've got more pace, but not significantly enough to absolutely walk the championship.
Curly, any questions for Calzo?
Yeah, it's interesting. This is quite different from the Calzo I think that we saw at the start of the season. You're definitely a little more reserved then, but certainly gaining some confidence so far. So yeah, I asked you this after China, and you did say yeah, and we'll see if the answer is the same. Do you think you are the favorite to win the title this year?
On pace, yes, but as I look how far I am behind them.
That's a cop out. It's a yes or no question, Calzo.
Yes.
All right, good to know. Jamie James, on to you.
Yeah, not much else to add really to that. I pretty much covered it all. But yeah, it was Callum. Did you? I was going to ask, did you lose that front wing in that last corner, or was it? Or did you run into the back of the corner at some point?
Well, I was actually quite lucky through the race. I hit the back of con, I think maybe about 4 or 5 times at hairpin. Not hard, but just a little tap. Nothing happened, and then I lost. I could take it. You saw me lose time at the last corner, and I was trying to make up for that. And I was pushing, and out of the hairpin, I put too much throttle, and then I clipped the wall very gently, and I just got minor wing damage. And
which would explain it being on the right side then.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good.
All right, James,
Yeah,
take the word
that's,
to one of your best mates, Ryan Hindle.
Oh, Ryan Hindle X. How are you doing, Ryan? How was that for you?
Honestly, mate, shite.
Language. I apologise.
We apologise.
We apologise for that
What?
comment.
I didn't swear. I said it with an E on the end of it.
Also, you're going French on us now, right? So Ryan, first of all, qualifying. What was it like? Did you expect a 5th position? Because you just saw out Mali in the end, didn't you?
How did it go? Rubbish. Again. Well, basically, I did an 11.2. I was up on each sector on different laps, but I kept bottling different part of the track every lap. And in my final lap, I was 4.5 tenths up, going into Raskas, and some idiot decides to stand in the middle of the road. Well, obviously not stand, but sit in the middle of his road, in the car. And he was in like 16th place, so yeah. I had to go around the side of him, lost 2 tenths, so it could have been a nice P2 for me there. Could have been very different. The race, we had some decent pace, lost a bit of my wings, so I let Slimbo through. And then, it's a difficult track, but the back markers for us, for me and Slimbo especially, they didn't help at all. So, it could have been very different, but it is what it is. I think Colin will win in the end anyway.
Oh, I just want to go on to obviously you've already expressed your well, not desire, but you will be leaving in a couple of weeks. I don't know if everybody knows. I don't know if you wanted to tell everyone. Obviously you're joining the army in a few weeks. So you've got a few races left in the WS. What's the ambition? Are you just going to go all out? No holding back now, just like ruffle some feathers, try and make the championship a bit interesting?
Yeah, that's all good. I was thinking about that actually halfway through Monaco. I was a bit frustrated, half a wing going round at like a second a lap slow. I thought, you know what, we're leaving a few weeks. Let's just push it and see what we can do. And then I'm guessing Slimbo made a mistake because he caught him up pretty quickly, and then he dropped like a stone. But yeah, next few races he's just gonna go all out, see what happens, you know, like Tommy James.
Well, that's what another thing I was going to say. Was that orchestrated? That when Slimmer did, they seemed to let you through. Was that, or did he make a mistake coming out last corner?
I don't know, because he seemed to go really slow into the last corner, and then he lost the back end. So I'm not sure if he, as I pulled alongside, he thought, yeah, I might as well let him through. I've got wing damage or not, but it doesn't matter anyway. We got through. So
Yeah, that's a nice 3-4 for Mercedes, and like you said, just keep your head down, have some good races, and give us some entertainment in the last few races for us.
brilliant, Jamie. Such an inspiration.
I'm trying to give you kind words, X Hindle X. So do you know what? If you don't appreciate it, that's fine. I think you're a decent driver.
Decent.
But just to make the viewers aware, James. Just to make the viewers aware, James, he does drive with assists.
Yeah,
Back to you, Curly. Any questions?
Every
any last
race,
questions
every
for Conzo?
race.
yeah.
Back to you, Curly. Any
You're
last
jealous.
questions for Conzo going into the next race?
We're doing another round for each driver. Okay then, Con, Canada, what are your thoughts? Is this a track you like? It's a solid one, I think, for the wheel. Another win perhaps there?
I would love to think so. I'll try have a better race preparation this time than falling asleep for a race. It's a bad idea. As for Canada, I've got some good pace, but again, Callum is pretty quick round there. He's one of them tracks. It seemed to be for Callum. I've done a few co-ops and stuff, practice sessions and stuff in the past, but he's pretty quick round there. So we'll see what happens. You can only do your best.
Calzo, your qualifying pace has looked very, very good this season. Pole position in Canada in 2 weeks' time, yes or no?
Ooh. Depends who turns up though.
Ooh.
Ooh, interesting. Who would you be worried about beating you?
Well, Valdemar put him like a one. He's like a one lap type of guy. He puts in a really, really quick lap, and then in the race he just absolutely dies. He dies. It's true. Mali, I could wind him up and say he's not a threat to me because I kept him by me at Bahrain the whole time. But then I didn't get any points from Bahrain because I forgot my footage, so I looked a bit like
Welcome to the roasting room. Episode number 3. Roast the FRR drivers.
Obviously, Conor and Ryan could challenge me for pole, but yeah, I'll say I'll take pole.
All right, fair enough. Hindle, just having a couple races left. I'm assuming that you'll get your elbows out in Canada. Who on the grid do you most want to overtake?
I won't be overtaking anybody because I'll be on pole and I'll be winning the race.
So that's a good answer.
And on that
All
note,
right, Tom, back to you.
And on that note, I think we'll close off this broadcast. Make sure to tune in next week on the Thursday for the World Series and World Championship reserves around Canada, because that'll be the reserve events. And if you want to join this league and join the reserve events, and the reserve events that is the way to get into the main leagues. You can drop a message to us on Facebook. Search us up Front Row Racing. Message us, and one of the admins will get in contact with you to get a position sorted for you. And I think that was all, Curly, wasn't it? Anything else to say?
We don't get paid.
I think that is just about everything.
All right. Well,
When you get
we'll thank
paid.
you all for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the World Series and the World Championship on the Wednesday and the Thursday. But we'll see you next week as well for the reserve race. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.
Just